Is it possible to get strobe-like power out of an LED? That's what we're gonna find out in today's video. All right, so welcome back everybody. I'm here in the studio today with the Nanlite Forza 720 and their FS300B. Let's kind of walk through and take a look at what lights I'm using here, the modifiers that I'm using, so that we can better understand it. And then we will go ahead and we will test it out. Let's start off first with our main light. This is the Nanlite Forza 720, super powerful LED light. It's pretty crazy to think that nowadays you're able to get LED lights that just put out so much power that what you would see with a strobe light. So that's what I'm using for this light. I've got it going through a Nanlite softbox. This is their parabolic 90. I have at my studio the 90 and the 120. I think for headshots and for the type of look that we're going for in the studio today, this parabolic 90 is beautiful. Really nice modifier. Just have one layer of diffusion on the outside. I've taken out that middle layer, mainly because when I took the photos to test this out at the beginning, I actually like the way it looks without that inner baffle. So kind of a nice look to that. So that's what I'm using for the main light. And then just above us, and actually in front of our model, which I'll introduce here momentarily, I've got the Nanlite FS300B. This is a bicolor LED light. And this light is going through a 7-inch reflector. And that's actually being fed through this like scrim. And all this is doing is just kind of giving this big, broad, soft light here in the studio, kind of like a fill light, not just for myself, for my shots, but also for you out there who are watching this video. This is everything that's not only lighting my stills, but it's lighting the video too. So that's one of the big advantages when you're shooting with an LED in the studio like this, is that your images, your videos, your stills, everything looks the same because it's all being lit by the same light. So it's kind of a cool benefit. So that's what we've got going on. That's our fill light. This is our main light. I've got a little fan here that I picked up, a little cheapo fan on Amazon, just to kind of make the hair flow, give it a little bit of a interesting type of look. So with that being said, we're gonna bring in Katelyn and start shooting. All right, so we're gonna get this shoot started. I've actually got their Nanlite app on my phone, and it's really nice because I can control both of these lights using the app. So we're gonna bring this thing up, and I'm gonna start off at 100% because trying to shoot this at f8 in the studio, you need a lot of light. So using the 720 at 100%, I think that that should hopefully get us the look that we're going for. We've got Katelyn here in the studio, as always with us. And I like these types of studio shots, especially with these like textured backgrounds, but oftentimes they look a little bit static and dull sometimes, even if you have a great model, great lighting. So just little tweaks make a big difference. And one of the tweaks, like I mentioned earlier, was having the fan. So I'm gonna turn this on. It's gonna ruin the audio because it makes a lot of noise in the background. So we're gonna roll the B-roll montage and you'll see what we end up with. I have the main light placed around 3 feet away at 100% brightness. Camera settings on my Alpha 7 IV was f8, 1/125th of a second, ISO 200. The images you're seeing are straight out of camera JPEGs, so that should give you an idea of what you could expect. So one of the other cool things here, I've got the A7 IV with the 2470. I'm gonna switch between 2 different lenses for this shoot. But one of the nice things using a mirrorless camera for this type of shoot with LED lighting is the fact that what I see is what I get. So as I'm looking through the viewfinder, I could tell in 2 seconds whether or not the light is where I want it to be. And if it's intense enough, if the fill light is doing enough, you just look at the back of my screen, and if it looks good, we're off to the races. Another really cool advantage with shooting with LED lights like this in the studio over maybe a strobe is the fact that because it's constant light, I could actually shoot continuous drive mode. So instead of doing one photo and having to wait for the flash to recycle, it's a constant LED. This camera does 10 frames a second. I've got the A1 that does 30 frames a second. If Katelyn was just going crazy and like dancing, juggling, doing whatever, I could shoot it at 30 frames a second and literally don't have to worry about the light having to refresh. So that is a very big advantage, and we're gonna take advantage of that. All right, so I'm at f8, 1/125th of a second. I'm at ISO 200, and as I mentioned, looking through the viewfinder, I can see straight away that it looks really clean, looks really good. I've got a gravity backdrop behind her with some texture. Just gives kind of a classy look to these images. Super nice. I can't overstate how useful it is to have an LED light like this in the studio, one that accepts light modifiers with Bowens mounts. This means that the very same modifiers that I use with my strobes can easily be attached to these Nanlite LEDs. Here's a few side-by-side images, with the shots on the left being the out-of-camera JPEGs, and the ones on the right are the RAW files with some color adjustments in Capture One without any additional retouching. All right, so that was our shoot today with the Forza 720 as our main light, and also the FS300B, two really awesome LED options available for you. So again, I use a lot of different lights on my channel. If you're interested in finding out more about these lights, I'll have them linked in the description for you to learn more. Big thanks to Katelyn for coming into the studio today and rocking it as always. And listen, go ahead and give her a follow. I've got her information in the description of the video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn more about LED lighting, off-camera flash, portrait photography tips, I got this really sweet video that you probably missed. It's here on the screen for you to check out. Go ahead and head on over and, let me know how you enjoy it. I'll see you there.